you imagine local UDR men who lived in this area out doing a day's work, out feeding the cows or going out to do a day's work on the roads or whatever, and then coming home, putting a uniform out on their back and going out and patrolling on these roads, and then at 4 or 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning they were having to drive back home again into an area where there was no protection. It took some backbone to do that. If you consider now, whenever a policeman or anybody gets a death threat, they're in with the removal vans and they're away. And that's them living in a housing estate in a Protestant area. These men didn't. They stood their ground. And look at the way they were repaid. The only men that was out, well, with the exception of the army, the only people you got on these roads was the local men when they were out on duty. For years, and it's only up in the last 2 years that the police have been able to drive in these roads. Before that, they all had to be done by helicopter. Now we've driven very slow there. And basically, we're coming up, that's the orange hall over there on the right hand side. The IRA went into, shot 5 people dead and injured. I think it was 14. They broke in through the back door, and as well as doing that, there was boys shooting in through the windows there. As you see, there's windows on this side and there's windows on the other side, and they were shooting down onto the floor where the men were lying. And I say, only there was one man there who fired one shot, and these 14 heavily armed freedom fighters, as they call them, ran like the rats they were. I say they panicked that much they left 2 of their own men behind. They had to go to a house and hijack a car. So don't tell us that they're brave freedom fighters. Anytime they come up again, the UDR or the army, you usually find that after 1 or 2 shots was fired, they cleared. Not one local man up here was killed while he was wearing the uniform, or while he was going on duty or coming off duty, because they always knew they were prepared at that stage. But you can't go around like that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So whenever people talks about moving on or about power sharing, this is not about power sharing. This is about what's right and what's wrong. Is it right to have mothers in government? If it is, well then we should have all been terrorists. We should have been all out and killed all around us. Is that the message we want to teach to our children? That it was okay to murder people, to butcher people? Because you could go from being the bogside butcher to being the deputy first minister. Is that what we're going to learn the children in our schools? Or when they're growing up? Well, obviously it's what the IRA want to teach. It's what the Republican movement want to put. How these great freedom fighters did what they did. They didn't do it, they were allowed to do it. And with the help of our politicians, they ended up in government. It wasn't because of their military capability. Coming up to another wee spot here. By Cleary, one of his claim to fame of being a great Irish freedom fighter, he shot a 60-year-old woman in a car 38 times just here. There's junks that have taken over a house up that lane, and they're waiting on the man coming home to shoot him from his day's work. Unfortunately, a woman with the same car come down here, and they put 38 bullets in her. But the hero, Cleary, said it was a mistake of identity. Now, somebody who drove past at the time actually witnessed